Man, the hits keep coming. Y'all heard the news. Unbelievable. I just can't believe it. The 49ers, we got the news from Jeremy Fowler and a couple other news outlets about 30 minutes ago that Mykel Williams did indeed tear his ACL. He's out for the season. That's just terrible, man. I feel bad for the guy too. Nathan, good afternoon to you. It's just, that sucks, man. Like, this guy is a rookie. He was your first round pick. It sucks for him. He played pretty well. I know a lot of people don't think his stats were great. He didn't stuff the stats sheet. We talked about it yesterday. If you're a box score watcher, he wasn't really doing it for you. But the guy drew double teams. He had the most snap count among the team on defense. This guy was your first round pick. He's a versatile. He can play inside. He can play outside. He's just a good young player that's developing. And, he got better through the weeks. And you just hate to see that to any player. But, you're young, future cornerstone type player. You don't want to get an injury. Now, this comes a couple weeks after Nick Bosa's injury. He's going to be out for a very long time. ACL could take up to a year to recover from. We'll see what Kyle Shanahan says if there was any other damage. But today, the test revealed that it was a torn ACL. He's definitely out for the season. And now you have Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and Mykel Williams all out for the season. 3 key players on your defensive line. That sucks, man. Yeah, of course he tore it. It's like unbelievable that the 49ers were so close. They were so close in closing that game out without a major injury. And then, of course, like 4 minutes to go, I couldn't believe it. Why was he in the game? I don't know. Victory Monday, you just can't enjoy it, right? You can't enjoy a Victory Monday. It's like a bittersweet Monday. It's not a Victory Monday. It's bittersweet. It's like you woke up excited about the game, winning, and then you're like, oh, shit, Mykel Williams. Like, you remember, you're like, geez. Unbelievable turn of events. It's just like, what are the Niners going to do? Trade deadline's tomorrow. Obviously, we hope they make some trades, but you're not really stacking more players. You're just replacing people, and you just pray that nobody gets hurt. I know Clelin Ferrell was a nice addition. Keon White, he came in, and he's still, he's learning the ropes with the team, and, he wasn't horrible, but he did, to pull up some stats here for the 49ers defensive line. They actually had 15 pressures yesterday, which was very good. Keon White, let's take a look. Let me pull up the stats. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Keon White had 1 pressure, but the 49ers in total generated 15 pressures. A lot of it was Sam O. He had 5 pressures and a sack. Mykel Williams had 3 pressures yesterday. Clelin Ferrell had 2 pressures and a sack. So Mykel Williams, I know a lot of people don't think he's great. He was doing a lot of work. And again, he's not a pure pass rusher. So for him to, be able to play kind of inside and outside and still generate those pressures, it's nice. And you don't want to lose any depth. But, now the Niners, they're going to have to regroup. Hopefully they make some trades. Jalen Phillips was traded to the Eagles this morning. A lot of people are up in arms, but he is kind of an injury-prone type player. So I would like to stay away from him. Now, I would have loved it if we grabbed him because we need depth. But there's still players, Bradley Chubb, et cetera, et cetera. So Jermaine Johnson, Arden Key. I've heard a lot of reports about Arden Key potentially come to the Niners. So it makes sense. Arden Key's a guy that's played here just like Clelin Ferrell, and he had success with the Niners under Chris Kasurks. I could see it. It's definitely a possibility. I wouldn't say that it wouldn't happen, but unfortunate for Mykel, man. It's just tough for him because he was catching on. He was doing pretty good. I feel like he was doing, a good enough job in terms of setting the edge, learning how to be a pass rusher because he's not a pure pass rusher. 21 years old, and now his season comes to an end. So, unfortunate, baby. Let's take a look at some of the stats. Mykel Williams' final numbers for his rookie season, 9 games. He had 20 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. He had 19 pressures, 1 sack, 3 quarterback hits, and he had a 53.9 overall defensive grade, right? It wasn't the most alarming stats. It's not going to sit there and stuff up a stat sheet, but he did a lot of dirty work. He did a lot of, double teams. He did a lot of, he just did a lot of inside and outside type work. Again, he was a versatile player, but those numbers definitely could have improved as the season went on. They didn't have Bryce Huff for a couple of the games. They didn't have Nick Bosa for a lot of the games. No Fred Warner. So it's tough, but it's unfortunate for him. I hope he does, recover well and comes back stronger next season. Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, I kind of knew that it was going to happen. I kind of was feeling the notification was about to drop, but unfortunately, it was unfortunate that it happened. I was just praying that it wasn't going to be a torn ACL. I was just praying that the test would say no torn ACL. But 9 times out of 10, when they say we're going to test for a torn ACL, that's what you fear. I mean, it's pretty much going to be conclusive. So it's just, stressful, unfortunate, sad news for the rookie. Nothing but positive energy for the young buck. And hopefully he gets better, and he can be the same guy. Those types of injuries are brutal, man. I will say Mykel and Nick Bosa, both are probably going to be training a lot together. I'm sure they're going to have stories in the offseason, how they're taking each other under their wing and training. And it's going to be a very, wholesome story. And we're going to be like, all right, I can't wait. But I wish we didn't even have to worry about those stories. I wish they were both playing great and injury free and doing what they got to do. It's unfortunate. And now when you think about this might put some pressure on the 49ers to get another defensive lineman early in the draft, which they do every year. We all want offensive linemen. We are sitting here screaming every week, get O-linemen. This might change the draft. Now, again, the draft's way down the line until April. We can't even sit here and speculate. But depending on what they do in the next couple of weeks and free agency down the line when the season's over, they may very well go for a defensive lineman early instead of offensive lineman. But that's way down the line. We don't need to think about that right now. But can you imagine that they have to spend draft picks on early first-round picks again? I mean, I hope not. Unfortunate. So can we ban the turf? Can we blame it on the turf? We could. George Kittle kept it absolutely 100 on turf yesterday. Oh, man. He just let it go. He says, look, when your stadium and your turf is basically the butt of jokes and a meme, something needs to be done. He kept it 100, man. That video went super viral. I posted last night. Holy moly, people were on his side. George Kittle, real as they can be, man. But yeah, unfortunate news for Mykel Williams. Wanted to come on. Kyle Shanahan will address the media about 2 hours from now, and we'll be back later talking about what Kyle Shanahan was talking about today. So you guys have a good rest of your day. If you can, I know the news sucks. This is the 49ers 2025 season, and we've adapted, and we got to keep pushing through it. It's tough, but you guys have a good rest of your day. I love you. Mykel Williams, prayers up, my boy. Prayers up.